Good morning
from Malaga, Spain.
Buenos dias.
Now, we've got a little bit of a later start today. We've already gotten up and had breakfast and just hung around and gotten ready for our day.
We have.
So, the plan for the day is we have reserved a gratuity-based walking tour with Malaga A Pie, which offers tours in both Spanish and English. Mm-hmm. Unless they don't get enough English interest, then apparently you get an email about 24 hours ahead of time that says, ooh, our tour is only running in Spanish today, but we're still going to give it a try.
I was going to say, that might be the case today for sure. We both speak okay amount of Spanish. I took Spanish in high school, and then we re-upped that when we were going to Mexico a lot. I think we'll be able to understand like 20% of it.
Yeah, between that and some Googling, we'll figure out what we're looking at. So it's a 2-hour walking tour around Malaga.
If nothing else, we'll show you the pretty sights.
That's true. And then we'll see where the wind blows us. We have some ideas and things for after that. So let's just go have a day.
Newport for us, and it's a nice long day. So we're really excited to get out there.
Yeah, it's going to be sunny. I've got my sunscreen on, and yeehaw.
Let's do it.
Our gangway is deck 2, midship. Boom. Yeah, we came out, we got a little bit of a wind today. Temperatures, I think, are low 60s, maybe mid 60s. Well, they do sell hop-on, hop-off tickets right here in the terminal. We've also been investigating the public bus system, which for about €1.40 or so, you can hop on a bus, or you can just stroll. It's about 1.5 miles out to the meeting spot for the tour, so we might get some steps in.
Definitely.
We'll just cut straight over here to the marina and walk toward town. About 1.25 miles later, we have made it. We just have to cross the street and get over to Plaza de la Marina. Well, I see an orange umbrella over here. That should be a good sign. Well, let us begin. I think we just got an orientation speech about the beaches here, and there's a lot of reclaimed land. We learned a little bit about the small white lighthouse that we saw on the way over. And if I get any facts wrong, well, whoops, I'll just make them up. We'll get a little peek through at what I believe is the cathedral. See if we can cross a little closer. Well, if we're hungry, we can just grab some snacks right off the tree. Maybe not. Well, we've got about 12 or so in the group today, I'd say. So this is Santa Iglesia Catedral Basilica de Malaga. Renaissance architecture. It took about 250 years to construct, between the early 1500s and late 1700s. You can see part of the original wall over there. I think that's a Moorish wall remnants. We've snuck around now so we can get some different views. Well, I know who this is. Spent about a half hour admiring and learning about the cathedral. Now that the wonders continue. Well, this walking path has been remarkably flat and accessible so far. No steps or anything to speak of. Passing by the Museo de Malaga now. Big museum. Also in this zone you have the Alcazaba Roman Theater. Now we're seeing lots of school groups. Hustle and bustle in that general direction. I think we're going to continue in this general direction. Aha, here we've got a big peaky place where you can look over and see some of the archaeological ruins. Now, Malaga A Pie does have some tour packages that included a walking tour and admission to some of the sites that we're going to be visiting from the outside today. It's always another option if you find yourself in Malaga. They've got a giant glass triangle out here that you can look down and you see some portion of the ruins. Let's see if we can get a non-glary peek. Ooh, kinda. That's mostly us. There's a little better peek down. Not much, but a little better. We are seeing and hearing all kinds of birds flying around. Parakeets, lorikeets, some kind of keats just squawking away up there.
So,
how's the experiment going today?
I'm the first to admit we might be in over our heads. I've understood about every 5th to 7th
I'm on like
word.
every 10th word. I don't know.
5th to 7th word. So I'm understanding it as, bits and pieces. Like I know what we're looking at, but I don't know the whole conversation. But you know what? It's an experience and I'm glad to have it.
That's true. Let's learn some more. We've made our way over to the corner of Calle Santiago and Calle Granada now. I'm just admiring all this architecture. In this direction, we've got Iglesia de Santiago. Looks like we do get an inside visit here. I was getting ready to say I had to take my hat off. I forgot I didn't even wear a hat out today. No, I did not hear an amount of time that we were supposed to spend inside this building, so we will probably try to err on the side of caution and not spend too much time. Back out into the world. Well, we're about an hour and a half into our tour so far. We'll have to see how many points of interest we have left. I think we've got Picasso's birth house coming up. We've come over to an area now called Raíces y Alas, which I guess translates to roots and wings. Google shows a picture of this tree, but I guess it's an artistic installation. Well, there is the Pablo Picasso Museum. Oh, we found our way back to the cathedral. Oh, flavor of Spain. They got free samples going on. We got us some snack nuts. Nice. I see we've reached the other side of the cathedral. I like the entrance with all these fruit trees. I don't know if these are related to like Valencia oranges. There's some research for me to do later. We are gonna whip our way over here and carry on. Yeah, it's funny how plain this wall appears other than just boom, ornate door. Get a little closer peek at said door. Oh, we got some groups going by now. Hustle and bustle noise. Oh, it's a ship tour. Oh, I didn't even notice at first. There's like a giant crack that goes all the way up the building, all the way to the top. They have it covered over with kind of this fabric. I don't know if that's hopefully helping to make it not crack any further. You ain't never had a friend like me. We have found the front of the cathedral. It looks like we're walking in the opposite direction of the Pablo Picasso Birth House Museum, so we might not make it over there on this tour. Oh, we've got the Episcopal Palace over in this direction. Check out the sculptures and some gargoyle-type devices. And that is the ending point of the tour. So we have gratuitized and parted ways, and now, free wanders.
I mean, we still learn stuff.
We learn so much stuff.
And it was a good group. They were very involved in asking questions, so I thought that was great.
Well, we've tucked in here at Taverna Casa Lola to see if we can try some tapas. They have a quite extensive menu, and they do have an English menu for us. Oh, we've ordered some white wine. They've started us with some olives and a bread service. One thing we've learned about eating in this region especially is that you get a cover charge, which is just for holding down a table, and you typically get bread in exchange for paying your cover charge. I guess the olives are part of our cover too. Well, we found some nice outdoor seating. This little street is lined with restaurants, bars, tapas places. There's like a million choices around here. Now, after the good time we had in Barcelona, we have decided to get their fried aubergine, or eggplant, with honey. That was our favorite there. We'll see how it fares here. These are light, they are pillowy, they are fluffy, they are fantastic. And this honey, again, is more like what we would call molasses, but excellent combination. We've also gotten the prawn salad, which does not come with bread, so it goes well with the bread that they brought out to us. Giant serving. This is the large size. Oh, avert your eyes if you do not like meat. We got the assorted ham, sausage, cheese thingamajig. We've also got a busker over here playing us some tunes to look at meat by. Well, we are all filled up, and that was fantastic. So we're going to do a little bit of shopping, and then we'll jump ahead to our evening adventure. See you then. Well, we have literally come full circle today. We are back at Plaza de la Marina. So we have not yet had enough fun here in Malaga today. We've decided we need more local culture in our life, and that culture is flamenco.
Yeah, so we've always wanted to go to a flamenco show, and in Spain is the place you're supposed to do that. So it's really close to the port, which is very convenient because we're here until like 8:30 tonight, and they have, I think, 3 or 4 different show times. So we'll pick an earlier one just to make sure, but I'm so excited.
Yeah, so we've got a little bit still, but we're getting ready to walk over to Alegria Flamenco. Yeah, super close to the port.
Let's do it.
That's it. Now, rather than walking back via the marina, I think we will cut through this park and get some greenery in our life. Oh, they sell tickets to Alegria right out here by this park. That's cool. Hello, green space. I hear lots of birds. We've got signs telling us what things are. There's various fountains and landmarks in here, so we're going to stroll, see what's of interest, and then flamenco.
I think they're green. Yeah, it's right there. Oh,
she's excited by these parakeets, y'all.
You came to say hi.
I think we found where these birds like to hang out.
Sticks.
Kids play area, and we do have a public drinking fountain. I like the overflow goes down into like a bowl that would be friendly for, you know, dogs and such before it goes down into a drain. And this is where we will make our cross back in the direction of the cruise terminal. Success! Alegria! So that's kind of the direction you would come from the ship on the ground level. We were actually in town, so we came past that colorful glass building, down the stairs, plop, 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 right down the street. Well, they said they do serve some food and beverages and all that stuff actually here, so that's super convenient. We've gotten checked in, now to find our table. Uh-oh, we got some photo ops right here. So this is our venue. We've got tons of chairs scattered around. There is where the magic will happen. Now, we're still full from our snacking earlier, but we could definitely go for a beverage or 5 while we're here.
5? Jeez.
It looks like we have 2 dancers, a guitarist, and 2 singers for the show. Oh, we have ordered a bottle of Monasterio, which is, it says it's sort of Sauvignon Blanc-ish. Ding!
Muy buenas tardes a todo el mundo. Good afternoon to everyone. Bienvenidos. Welcome. You are going to see a show for the most beautiful tradition, passion and art from this wonderful country, Spain. Esperamos que disfruten mucho. We hope you enjoy. Y un fuerte aplauso, big applause.
Well, if that was not the liveliest burst of culture, I don't know what is. All right, we are going to head back toward our vessel.
evening.
Y'all, we literally just walked through the door. It is almost 6 o'clock, and I think we're going to slide to dinner.
Yeah.
But first of all, now, I gotta say, I think we just put the most perfect exclamation point on our cultural immersion of Malaga.
I don't think you can get more immersive than taking a tour in Spanish, going to have, authentic tapas and wine, and then ending it with an amazing flamenco show. Also with wine.
That's true. So how was your flamenco experience?
It was so good. I wasn't sure what to expect because I always see this is the pose, and they do that. But it's more than that. The music is beautiful, passionate. I loved the small venue. It was so intimate. I got very emotional because you could feel what the emotions are from the performers. And you could tell they all love their job. Not exactly sure what they were saying, but it didn't even matter. You could feel those emotions. And all of the movements of the feet, I don't know how they do it. It was absolutely beautiful and a perfect end to the day for sure.
So thanks to Alegria for that performance. And y'all, it is so close to the port. So if you're in Malaga, go get some culture.
Don't miss it.
Amazing.
It is so good.
They got food, they got drinks, they got all that that you just saw. Whew. All right, so speaking of food anyway, we're going to the dining room, so come on.
Let's do it.
I think you even dressed the part a little bit today.
Not on purpose, but polka dots were the theme today, yes.
And now, dining room. Vivace is playing, but we're not going to be those loud people. We're going to head up to Billboard on Board. We've got 60s music trivia up first, and then it should go into an 80s set from the Billboard Onboard piano players.
80s, that's my vibe, yeah. 60s, not so much.
Well, we've come over to the side to see if we can get a shot of the dueling piano players in that 80s set. Got a clear shot for now, but if folks come sit in front, which they might, I'll have to start looking at floors and ceilings and stuff again, because normally that's why, is if we don't have a good view, you're going to be seeing some floors and some ceilings. We'll see.
Sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to desert me? Maybe the best shot. Fire away. I just want to say I love you. I gotta have faith, the faith, the faith. I gotta have faith, the faith, the faith. Baby. I only wanna see you bathing in the purple rain. Islands in the stream, that is what we are. No one in between. How can we be wrong? If you're lost, you can look and you will find it. Time after time, you make my dreams come true. I'm sorry with the man in the mirror. I'm asking him to change his ways. Oh, we're out of back now. That's how I was sent to last forever. Yeah, I am to somebody with somebody who loves me.
Alright, we're gonna go. But we'll be back in about half an hour with more music for you, alright?
Well, I think we'll sneak into BB King now. It's a little busy, so we might just sit in the back, and I probably won't record the set, but we'll just give it a listen. Wow!
Good night.
Y'all, if we look a little differently lit, we had a strange lighting incident when we entered the cabin.
Half of our lights are working, the other half aren't. So I called guest services. They're going to check it out.
They'll get it fixed. Yeah, there was like a weird popping noise when we hit the light switch, and so the overheads are still working. We're not completely in the dark.
No,
Just
no.
no bathroom, no desk light, no bedside lights.
We can live with it, it's fine.
That's fine. So really all we have to do is talk about dinner, so let's get into it. You had minestrone.
This was amazing, very tomatoey and vegetably and warm. I don't
Is it a hug in a bowl?
It wasn't quite that level.
Oh.
It was very good and seasoned really well. It was nice.
I had, I forgot, it was a seafood embouche, I think, which is basically for fancy words for like a puff pastry with some shrimp and some scallops, and there was even a mussel and a clam and stuff in there. Nice, rich, flavorful broth. Everything was cooked well. Crispy pastry. Yum, yum.
Much better at describing food.
We are.
Oh, you.
There is your salmon bowl.
It's a teriyaki salmon bowl with cauliflower rice, and I think there was spinach and avocado. It was very good. The salmon was cooked beautifully. The flavors were really nice and melded very well together. I was so full at this point from the tapas we had earlier, though. I could not finish all that, but it's very yummy.
I might have finished some of it. Fishy, I got Dorado. Now this is a little bit more of a fish tasting fish, which I like. See, a lot of people like a not fishy fish. This one's a little bit of the medium range, which is a good fish level for me. There was some surprise carrots under there, which you couldn't see in the picture. There was farro on the bottom. It had like cooked apple pieces. Yum. Everything about this was just delicious because it had dill on top. I think that was dill. I don't know if it was dill. Look at that. No sugar added chocolate ice cream.
This is where dinner falls apart for me.
Uh-oh.
I was like, ooh, I want to try some no sugar added chocolate ice cream. Don't do that. It was not good. And maybe it's just me. It had a weird texture and a strange funky taste. But maybe I'm just not used to eating no sugar added ice cream, at least of this variety. You tried it and you thought
I had a flavor memory. Yeah, well, the texture was sandy. The texture was a little off-putting, but the flavor for me was like a sugar-free fudge-sicle. If you've ever tried...
Those are good.
They are. So it was like that, but maybe not quite. Because, like, you know, the health journey as a kid with my mama was, you know, you would get, like, sugar-free popsicles and sugar-free fudge-sicles. So it was kind of like that fakey, chocolatey, weird flavor.
But worse.
Well, I guess you can't recommend that one.
No, I cannot.
I got the no sugar added blueberry pie. It's a little, it gets that gelatinous texture, but it's a nice flavor overall. It kind of tastes artificially sweet, which it is, so that makes sense, but a pleasant no sugar dessert, I would say. And he was like, do you want ice cream? And I said, yes, please, normal ice cream on top of my no sugar. So he brought me regular, like French vanilla.
At least it was half and half.
Yeah.
We're good at selling these no sugar added desserts.
Hey, I usually don't mess with
No, usually they're really good, honestly.
Yeah, but that's it for tonight.
Yeah.
So y'all come back tomorrow. We have got another port. That's right, 3 port days in a row.
One we've been to before,
Yeah.
but we're doing something new and something everyone should do.
I think it's gonna rock.
I think it's gonna rock too. Stay tuned.
Good night.